They say love makes a woman stay, but that's not entirely true. What truly anchors her is emotional safety, the silent assurance that she doesn't have to hide parts of herself to be accepted. When a woman feels safe, she softens. She allows you to see her real emotions, her fears, her dreams, not because she's weak, but because safety gives her permission to be authentic. It's not about how much someone does for her, it's about how she feels when she's around them. You see, emotional safety is far rarer than love itself. Many can offer affection, attention, even passion, but few can offer peace. Peace is not built through constant reassurance or promises, it's built through consistency. It's when words match actions, when silence isn't used as punishment, and when presence doesn't disappear at the first sign of discomfort. A woman's heart recognizes that. It remembers the difference between a connection that made her anxious and one that made her exhale. When she feels emotionally safe, she no longer performs. She doesn't need to be perfect to chase validation or to compete for attention. She simply is asterisk, and in that state she thrives. Emotional safety is what allows her to be both soft and strong, the very essence of her feminine energy. It's not about control, it's about trust. So when a woman finds someone who makes her feel that way, she never forgets it. Not because she's attached to the person, but because she's attached to the feeling of being understood without explanation. That kind of peace etches itself into her memory quietly, deeply, permanently, because long after the words fade, she'll remember one thing: how safe it felt to finally be herself. Presence. It's one of those words people throw around casually, yet very few understand its power. You see, a woman doesn't remember the man who talked about his plans, his dreams, or his potential. She remembers the one who showed up. Not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Because presence is more than being in the same room. It's being fully in the moment. It's the energy that says, I see you, I hear you, you matter right now. In a world where everyone is distracted, divided, and constantly scrolling, presence has become the highest form of intimacy. A woman can feel when someone's attention is fragmented. She can sense when he's listening just to respond instead of to understand. And the moment she feels unseen, she retreats not because she's cold, but because she refuses to invest in half-hearted energy. Presence doesn't need big gestures. It's in the silence between sentences, the way you look someone in the eyes without rushing to fill the space. It's in the patience to truly listen when she speaks from her heart. When someone brings presence into her life, she feels grounded. She feels safe to open up because she senses the steadiness behind that energy. And here's the truth: consistency of presence builds trust faster than any promise ever could. Because promises belong to the future, but presence exists now. It's real, it's tangible, it's felt. And when a woman experiences that level of attention, it touches something deeper than emotion, it touches her soul. So she never forgets it, because in a world full of noise, the one who's truly present becomes unforgettable. Presence doesn't just connect two people, it heals them, and that kind of connection leaves a mark no time can erase. Respect. It sounds simple, but it's the foundation of every deep emotional connection. A woman can sense the difference between being desired and being respected. Desire often comes from the surface admiration for her beauty, her charm, her energy. But respect goes deeper. It acknowledges her as a human being with her own thoughts, her own voice, and her own boundaries. When she feels that kind of respect, something inside her shifts. She feels safe enough to reveal her true essence. You see, respect doesn't look like control, and it doesn't sound like flattery. It's quiet, steady, and deeply intentional. It's when someone listens without trying to dominate the conversation, when they appreciate her opinions even when they disagree, when they honor her choices without trying to rewrite them. That's what awakens a woman's feminine energy, not dominance, but dignity. When she feels respected, she doesn't need to defend herself. She can simply exist in her full power. Psychologically, respect tells her subconscious, asterisk, you're valued. Asterisk, and that validation, when genuine, allows her to soften. Because women don't thrive under pressure, they thrive under peace. When she senses that her worth isn't being measured by her body, her compliance, or her availability, she opens her heart willingly. Respect gives her the freedom to be both gentle and strong, loving and independent, nurturing yet self-possessed. And the irony is, once she experiences that level of respect, she'll never settle for less again. Because she's tasted what it feels like to be honored, not handled, that memory stays with her not because of the person, but because of the transformation it sparked within her. Respect doesn't just earn admiration, it earns permanence. And that kind of impact can never be forgotten. Depth. It's the quiet power that stands out in a world addicted to noise and instant gratification. Today, most people are chasing excitement, quick emotions, quick validation, quick connections. But the truth is, what stays is not excitement, it's depth. Because depth doesn't entertain the ego, it speaks to the soul. A woman feels the difference immediately. She can sense when a person's words are rehearsed verses when they're rooted in authenticity. She knows when she's being impressed and when she's being understood. Asterisk depth requires stillness. It's the ability to be calm when everything around you screams for attention. It's the strength to listen without trying to fix, to care without trying to control. That kind of presence doesn't create drama, it creates security. And when a woman feels that energy, she relaxes. She doesn't have to question intentions or decode mixed signals. She just knows. Philosophically, depth reflects self-awareness. It's a reflection of someone who has met themselves, faced their shadows, and learned to lead with peace rather than pride. When a person carries that kind of emotional intelligence, it becomes magnetic. Because it's rare and rare energy is unforgettable. A woman who encounters depth feels something different. She feels steady. She realizes she doesn't need to perform to be noticed, and that realization is liberating. She remembers the calm after the chaos, the grounding presence that made her feel centered, not confused. And that's the paradox. It's not intensity that leaves a lasting impression, it's stability. The world will always chase drama, but a wise woman will always remember depth, because peace may not excite the heart immediately, but it nourishes it endlessly, and in the end, the calm one is always the one she never forgets. Every interaction leaves an emotional footprint. Whether we realize it or not, we are constantly shaping how others feel in our presence, and for a woman, that emotional imprint is everything. She may forget the words that were said, but she never forgets the tone, the energy, the feeling. Because emotions are the language of memory, they linger in the subconscious long after logic fades. When someone carries emotional maturity, their presence feels different, calm instead of chaotic, grounding instead of confusing. A woman's intuition can sense this immediately. It's not about perfection, it's about emotional awareness, the ability to take responsibility for one's energy instead of projecting it onto others, the ability to communicate without attacking, to hold space without judgment. Those are not small gestures, they are signs of evolution. Every moment of emotional impact tells her something about who she is becoming. Did she feel drained or inspired? Did she shrink or expand? A woman remembers the people who left her feeling elevated, not exhausted, the ones who brought clarity instead of confusion, peace instead of anxiety. That emotional impact shapes her perception, her self-worth, her emotional standards. And here's what many overlook: emotional impact doesn't come from intensity, it comes from intention. It's in how someone chooses to make her feel seen even in silence, how they handle conflict with grace rather than ego, how they respond instead of react. Those moments define whether she feels safe or small. So when a woman never forgets someone, it's not attachment, it's resonance, because emotional energy doesn't just fade, it leaves echoes. And long after time has passed, she'll still remember how it felt to be around a presence that didn't just touch her heart, but elevated her entire being. Growth, that's the ultimate connection. Because when someone contributes to your evolution, their presence becomes more than just a memory. It becomes a part of your transformation. A woman doesn't truly remember the man who simply made her feel desired. She remembers the one who made her feel different. The one who challenged her to think deeper, to see herself through a clearer lens, to rise above her pain instead of drowning in it. That kind of connection doesn't just touch emotions, it awakens the soul. Growth happens in silence, through reflection, through those rare conversations that make her confront her patterns and redefine her worth. When she meets someone who holds space for her healing, not by fixing her, but by believing in her strength, it becomes unforgettable, because what she remembers is not dependency, but empowerment. Not validation, but elevation. Philosophically, that's the highest form of connection, one that reminds you of your own potential, and psychologically, it's the most lasting, because the human mind always anchors to experiences of expansion. The people who challenge our comfort zones, who mirror our weaknesses with compassion, are the ones who shift us from who we were to who we're meant to be. A woman never forgets the energy that helped her evolve. The one that made her realize she was never broken, just becoming. She carries that transformation with her long after the person is gone, because it was never about possession, it was about awakening. So remember this when your presence becomes someone's catalyst for growth. You don't just pass through their life, you become part of their becoming. And there is no greater legacy than being remembered as the reason someone chose to heal, rise, and never look back.